Today, a bit of a mindset breakthrough I want to talk about in regard to how we often talk ourselves out of asking for what we deserve in a relationship because we talk ourselves into thinking that it's too much. We do this thing where we rationalize what we're offered as being good enough, and we ignore the fact that we deserve to be loved in a way that actually makes us feel loved. And even if someone is offering you elements of that, even if they're giving, even if they're using their love language, if that doesn't make you feel loved, it's not too much then to ask for more, to ask for different, to have a conversation about it. But this is the trickiest thing, right? In instances where someone is in their own way, from their own place of comfort and expectation, from their own love language, they're trying, right? They're trying to love you. They're leaning into what works for them. But for you, it's not enough, or for you, it's not right. In those instances, we feel guilty, right? We feel guilty for asking for more. We feel selfish. We should just appreciate that they're trying. At least they're giving me something. Hey, at least we're committed, right? That's kind of human nature 101. And so we talk ourselves out of asking for more. And frankly, I think that's why a lot of relationships fail. It's literally just a big miscommunication, psychology-driven miscommunication. So I just want to do this episode to help us realize why we do this so that we can stop allowing ourselves to talk ourselves out of more. Because you deserve to be loved in a way that actually makes you feel loved. You deserve to be loved in a way that makes you feel loved. So let's break this down really practically. And the headline here is that a lot of the time, most of the time, in fact, people give what they know best. In a relationship, people love how they like to be loved. People give what comes naturally to them. You can call that a love language if you want. People give what they're comfortable giving. People give what they're used to giving. People give what they want to receive, right? And in their minds, the act of giving is love. Hey, I'm loving. They're loving you. But it's in a vacuum without asking if it's how you want to be loved and without asking if it actually makes you feel loved. They're loving you. They're giving to you. And sometimes that's great, right? Sometimes we get lucky. For instance, they really enjoy giving words of affirmation as their preferred method of showing love. It's also what they want to receive, and so it just works for them. And lucky for them, though, that is also what you want to receive. It makes you feel loved. But a lot of the time, it's not the case when someone wants to give you words of affirmation, but that doesn't make you feel loved. And in those instances where they love, they're trying to love, they're giving what they want to receive, you have two choices amidst those scenarios where someone is trying, but it's not making you feel loved. It's not making you feel loved. You can accept it as good enough and call it a day, appreciate the effort, good enough, works for me. Or you can speak up and say, hey, here is what makes me feel loved. You could remind yourself that you deserve to be loved in a way that actually makes you feel loved. And the reality of that, of course, is it's quite difficult. We really get hung up on doing the latter, accepting what it is. And the reality of that, it's quite difficult, right? It's very difficult to speak up. We get hung up on accepting good enough because it makes us feel guilty or selfish to ask for more. It makes us feel like jerks to have someone loving us in a way that they know, giving us what they know how to give, and for us to stand there and say, nah, it's not good enough. But that's how we end up in relationships, frankly, that, not to sound ungrateful, but that's how we end up in relationships where they're just surface level, where you're loved in some way, there are verbs, but you don't feel loved. Do you want to be in a relationship where you don't actually feel loved? And in those instances, there's nothing wrong with this happening in the beginning. Of course not. In fact, I think this is how most relationships start. But in these instances, we need to speak up. Because, yeah, again, most relationships start this way, where both people give what they know how to give. They give what worked for their previous partners. They give what they have. They give what they want to receive themselves. And at the start of a relationship, that's fine. Give your preferred love language. You might give gifts, for instance, because that makes you feel comfortable to do, and you used to do it a lot with your ex, and they appreciated it. Maybe you shower them with words of affirmation because that's what makes you feel loved, and so you just do it. You give what you want to receive. You give words of affirmation because that's what you want to hear, and it makes you feel loved, and so you turn around and give it. So any number of combinations here, right? You give what you want, you give what you have, you give what's worked well for you in the past, and then your partner does the same. They love you how they want to be loved. They love you how their ex wanted to be loved, right? Any number of combinations. And of course, there's nothing wrong with this. It's human nature to use your own motivation, to use the examples set for you to do what you do, to love. But we have to realize a fundamental truth about relationships, and that is you deserve to be loved in a way that actually makes you feel loved. And we have to be willing to say, just because you love me doesn't mean I feel loved. Something that can be so incredibly hard to say, of course, but we have to, because you deserve to be loved in a way that actually makes you feel loved. And you deserve to experience that because you're willing to do it for your partner. Reciprocity dictates this. If you listen to your partner's needs, for instance, if you actively listen and you observe and you realize that you prefer to give gifts or acts of service as demonstrations of your love for them, you prefer that over words of affirmation because you find words difficult. But then you notice that your partner really craves words to hear you express your love for them. And you notice that, and then you make an effort to do that for them to make sure not only are you loving them, but they feel loved. Then reciprocity says you deserve to receive this in return. Your partner, for instance, might prefer to love you in one way, maybe spending quality time with you. And in their minds, that's enough, right? Because for them, it makes them feel loved. And so the assumption is that it makes you feel loved. Well, that's only half the battle. It's easy in life to give what we have to give. It's easy in life to give what we want to give. It's easy in life to give the thing that we want to receive. It's not easy to listen, to talk, and to give what makes someone actually feel loved. And you deserve that. And there's nothing selfish or extra or too much about wanting that. And as tough as it is, in the face of someone who is trying in their own way, we have to stand strong in this. Because again, you deserve to be loved in a way that makes you feel loved. And of course, down to the practical. The only way for someone to know not only how to love you, but how to do it in a way that makes you feel loved is for you to tell them. And I won't go off on this, of course. I've done classic episodes on communication, but a person can truly only get so far in knowing what makes you feel loved. They can guess, they can try, they can get pretty close. I think your person in life will get close because they'll have this emotional, intuitive connection with you where it comes easier to them. But no one walking this earth can read your mind, can tap into your heart to know if words make you feel loved or gifts or acts or quality time or whatever. Love languages aside, I think we should actually get away from those terms because I think sometimes that oversimplifies things. We have to communicate what makes us feel loved. And that could be in the face of many acts of love that are indeed great, but don't speak to you, a unique individual person, on a deep level. You deserve to be loved in a way that makes you feel loved. So it begs the question then, do you know what makes you feel loved? Actually loved and understood and appreciated, not just acts, not just going through emotions, not just verbs, but things that make you feel the emotion behind them and that make you feel loved. Perhaps that's a conversation you should have with yourself before you have one with a partner. Perhaps that's a question between you and your journal or in therapy. But once you figure it out, you have to take that intention out into the world. And hopefully it makes the conversation easier for you because there are two sides, really, or like four sides to love. That's how you love and how you want to be loved. And there's how your partner loves and how they want to be loved, right? So there's four. And more often than not, all those things are different. It's a beautiful mess. But it's only a mess if we don't take the time to realize what's true for us, how we give love and how we prefer to receive love, and what's true for them, how they give love and how they prefer to receive love. And once we realize these things, we'll also realize that a lot of people, unfortunately, are only willing to give in ways that make them feel comfortable. A lot of people give what they want to be given. And these people aren't bad people, of course, but remember that you deserve someone in your life who is willing to drop ego and comfort and history from how they love and to take time to listen to you and then to give what makes you feel loved. Reciprocity, eagerness of feedback is the name of the game here. Communication is the name of the game. It takes a strong person. It takes a strong, aware person to be able to say something like, just because you love me doesn't mean I feel loved. Because again, it sounds selfish. Someone is actively loving you and there you are saying you want more. We have to resist that because it's not a matter of greed or anything like that. It's a matter of what's right for you. If you take the time to listen to your partner and you offer them what you have, plus what makes them really feel loved, then there's nothing greedy about wanting the same for yourself. You have to push yourself to express this. It's as simple as saying, it really makes me feel loved when you ask me about my day and you give me your full attention. It really makes me feel loved when you introduce me to your friends. It really makes me feel loved when you XYZ or when we XYZ. Put it on the table. Someone who not only loves you but wants to make sure you feel loved, they'll jump at the chance to get their hands on that feedback. They'll be all over it. They'll say, thank you. Thank you for making it easier for me to love you. So that's it. I hope this gave you something to think about. You deserve to be loved in a way that makes you feel loved.